Bad Boys Ride or Die is in theaters now, and I'm here to help you decide what you're gonna do. This video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect your internet security by going to expressvpn.com/Murrell to see how you can get 3 months free, and stay tuned after the video for more info. Hello everybody, I'm Dan Murrell here with my review of Bad Boys Ride or Die, and this is going to be kind of road trip June because I'm taking a few different trips out of town. I'm visiting some friends this week, so this is going to be our studio for the next few days. But you know, I've got the mobile gear stuff, so it's like we never left home. I'm here to talk about Bad Boys Ride or Die, which was directed by Adil and Bilal, who also directed Bad Boys for Life, one of the last box office hits before theaters closed down back in 2020. They were also the victims of David Zaslav's Batgirl Write-Down, which saw their shot Batgirl movie shelved forever. I still can't believe that happened. Chris Brimner returned as screenwriter, with Aquaman screenwriter Will Beall joining to co-write this time. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence also return as Mike Lowry and Marcus Bennett. Mike has finally settled down, and Marcus has a near-death experience that gives him a new outlook on life. This allows the movie to explore aspects of their characters that we haven't seen in previous films, and it's actually one of my favorite things about the last two Bad Boys movies. These actors are getting older, but the characters are also getting older. They don't feel stuck in time, and so we're seeing them grow and mature and change as they enter a new period of their life. They have different priorities than the younger men that we met back in the 90s, and they find themselves on the wrong side of the law after their former boss, Captain Howard, played by Joe Pantoliano in Beyond the Grave videos sent before his death, is accused of being a dirty cop working for the cartels. The bad boys set out to clear his name with the help of a team of allies, including returning fellow cops Vanessa Hudgens and Alexander Ludwig. Jacob Scipio also returns as Mike's son Armando, armed with knowledge of the cartels. Eric Dane plays an ex-military heavy, and Ray Seahorn, so great in Better Call Saul, plays Captain Howard's daughter, a U.S. Marshal still looking for vengeance after her father's death. I liked Bad Boys Ride or Die for the same reason that I liked Bad Boys for Life, which is that it doesn't forget what makes people like these movies. It's Martin Lawrence and it's Will Smith, and it's the dynamic between them. And this movie continues to put that dynamic front and center, with the other cast revolving around the two of them. It also continues to showcase plenty of action, and I like how Adil and Bilal stage action sequences, switching between classic big explosions and frenetic editing, and adding in sweeping drone-style shots that take you around the action, and occasionally first-person perspective shots that flip between close-ups of our actors and POV gunshots. It may not be a style for everybody, but I like it, and I like how the movie switched it up and changed things around from time to time because it keeps these movies feeling fresh. Yes, they're throwbacks to the characters that we loved back in the 90s, but the action doesn't feel like it's stuck back in the 90s. Plot-wise, this isn't a groundbreaking movie. There are twists and turns and double crosses, but you'll probably see all of them coming. What is really front and center here is the action and the humor, and both of those things worked for me. It's also trim for a movie these days, coming in at just a shade under 2 hours. I think that's the perfect length for the story that's being told here, and it's plenty of time for the movie to deliver some great action set pieces, including an extended finale and an abandoned alligator-themed tourist attraction that delivers the chance for some new action and comedy that also works. Bad Boys Ride or Die isn't a movie for anyone looking for a reinvention of the wheel, but it is a movie for people who liked the previous movies and want another movie that's very much like that. But it's not stale, and I think that's the key thing here. You can give people what they want, you can keep the core of a movie franchise like this the same, but you don't necessarily have to freeze it in time, and that's what is great about adding Adil and Bilal to the mix here. It feels new while keeping the best parts of the older movies and nodding to the stylistic touches that were established by Michael Bay, such as the requisite low-angle, slow-motion 360 shot of our two heroes. This new meets old approach also extends to Lauren Balfe's score, which incorporates themes from Mark Mancina's original music, and the cinematography from Adil and Bilal collaborator Robert Tivert, which doesn't depart too much from the franchise's Bayhem roots to make this feel like a different franchise, but also delivers the updated feel that I referenced earlier. Now, that's not to say that this is a perfect film. I can nod to the fact that the plot is pretty predictable as being a trope of the franchise without completely excusing it, because I clocked who the bad guy was from pretty much the first scene of the movie, because I've seen 100 movies like this before. So yes, it does have that familiar feel to it. It also seems that modern action franchises have decided to sort of flip Harvey Dent's catchphrase on its head. You either die the villain or you live long enough to see yourself become the hero. The Fast franchise, of course, is the biggest offender when it comes to that, and we see a little bit of that in this movie as well. Bad Boys Ride or Die is not a revolution in action filmmaking, or really even the series itself, but the action kept me locked in, a lot of the jokes made me laugh, and Smith and Lawrence do still feel engaged and interested in these characters. I'm sure some people will use this movie as a referendum to what happened with Will Smith at the Academy Awards, and that's everybody's personal choice to make, but I think at some point you do have to also focus on the movie itself, and there's a reason that Will Smith has been a huge star for a few decades now, and it's because of characters like Mike Lowry and his ability to revisit those characters successfully, and he does that. Martin Lawrence is also, listen, he's huge in this movie, and I don't mean size-wise, he's a clown. He is so outsized with what he's doing, but that's always been the case as well. That has always been the dynamic between these two, and it's a dynamic that works. Despite the modern touches, Bad Boys Ride or Die feels like a throwback to, well, summer action movies, and particularly for people that grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s like me. And in a summer season where fewer and fewer people seem to be showing up for the new brand of blockbuster, the new brand of summer movie, it's going to be very interesting to see if people decide to show up for the old stuff. I enjoyed Bad Boys Ride or Die. It's not an instant classic or anything like that, but it lands solidly in the it's good category for me. And really, if you just want that throwback summer movie, this is the one for you. So it's a recommendation for me on Bad Boys Ride or Die. What do you think? Are you going to be heading out to the theater to see it this weekend? Let me know down in the comments below. And before we go, I want to thank the sponsor for this video, ExpressVPN. This episode is brought to you by ExpressVPN. It's great to think that when we're on the internet, everything that we're looking at and searching for is private, and most people think that if they go to something like incognito mode, that they're not being tracked. But that's not true, because your internet service provider can still see every single website you visit, whether you're in incognito mode or not. That's why I never go online without using ExpressVPN. Internet service providers in the US can legally sell your information to ad companies, which means your activity can be tracked and monetized. ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so your ISP can't see the sites you visit. All of your data is encrypted 100% of the time by ExpressVPN, and it runs completely seamlessly. Most of the time, I don't even realize that it's on. All you have to do is hit one button on any device, your phone, your computer, even smart TVs, and you're protected. Not only do I use it, I have my mom using it, and if you want to ensure your activity isn't being tracked and monetized by your ISP, you should use it too. Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by CNET and Mashable. Visit my exclusive link, expressvpn.com/Murrell, and you can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/Murrell, expressvpn.com/Murrell to learn more. Thanks to ExpressVPN for sponsoring the video, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out the description below for a link to buy tickets for a live show that I'm doing with my buddy Christian Harloff in just a couple of weeks, Friday, June 21st at the Green Room 42 in New York City. We would love to see you there. You can find out all that info in the description below. And as always, thanks so much for watching the channel. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye.